What's the story, Morning Glory? What is the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 6, Episode 10, Unpaid in Full. Let's start off where we left off last week, which is at Tiffany's baby shower. This is the part where Tiffany wasn't feeling well. She had to call her husband to her. She was sitting on the chair. She was feeling dizzy. She said that every time she closed her eyes, she was seeing stars. And so, we're trying to figure out what's going on with Tiffany. She about to have the baby. Is her blood pressure is it skyrocketing? What is really going on here? So Stormy is there in the room with her and with Lewis as well. And Stormy's trying to figure out what the hell to do. So she goes and she gets Kimmy because Kimmy she's a nurse, or she used to be a nurse. So Kimmy comes in to check on her. And unfortunately, Kimmy doesn't have her blood pressure cuff with her because she normally has it in her car, but they rode in Maurice's car. So she's asking Tiffany, do you want us to call 911? And Tiffany refuses. And I'm like, girl, if it's bad enough that you need to have the lights turned off, you have to have your husband by your side, you look like you're in excruciating pain, why don't you want to call 911? Like, I didn't understand why she didn't want to do that. Evidently, Kimmy didn't understand either. So Stormy calls 911 anyway. And at this point, Lewis decides to take Tiffany to the hospital himself. So they have to cancel the call, and Lewis rushes her to the emergency room. Moving on from there, we see Marceau. So Marceau and Letitia, they're having some type of a groundbreaking event for one of their construction projects. Gino was there. Letitia tells us that in the beginning, her and Gino got off to a rocky start, which I don't know why her and Gino would get off to a rocky start when it was her husband that had kicked her out of the office because he gave her office space to Gino. We see this scene where Letitia is telling Gino something about how because of him, she doesn't have anywhere to work. She has to go to the cafe. She has to go to wherever she can find some damn Wi-Fi. And I'm thinking, why are you telling Gino this? It was your husband that made that decision, Letitia, not Gino. Gino just applied for the job, got it, showed up to work. Marceau told him where to sit, and that's it. I mean, he had nothing to do with you not having an office. It was your damn husband. Anyways, child, let's move on. So Letitia realizes that in actuality, Gino was a good addition to the company. Marceau says that he can handle, like he'll do like the business aspect of it, and Gino handles what goes on in the field and these construction projects. They talk about the Black Expo. So the Scotts, Letitia and Marceau, they see it as a give back to the community and not something for them to profit from or to make money from. So we're going to put a pin in that and get to that a little bit later. Melody, she goes to see her attorney Caleb. She wants to change her name back to her maiden name, which is Rogers, which I thought her maiden name was Cherie or Sherry, because that's the name that they put on the show, Melody Cherie. But I guess because she's unable to change her name, she was using her first and her middle name because she doesn't want to use Holt. Okay, she's sick of that. She doesn't want to use Holt. She can't use Rogers again legally because her name hasn't changed to that legally. So that's why I guess they just shortened it to her first name and her middle name. So she wants to change her name back to Rogers, her maiden name. And her attorney tells her, well, that's a very easy thing to do. There's no issue with that, except when you are involved in a legal proceeding. And so I guess Martell took her back to court for custody, and because she's involved in that pending legal action, she cannot change her name while that legal action is still pending and hasn't been concluded or disposed of. So she's dealing with that. And also Melody tells us that in their custody hearing, Martell is asking for like some really bizarre things. Like he wants the password to all of her social media. For what? The only thing that I can think of is that maybe he's wanting to see if she's saying disparaging things about him that the children might have access to, or that the children might be exposed to. That's the only thing that I can think of as to why he would want access to her No. We don't give passwords away. I don't care if it's a password to my McDonald's account. I'm not giving you my password to anything. That's not happening. No way. And so he also wants to know, who she's been involved with romantically ever since their divorce. No, none of your business. And thank God her lawyer sees it the same way too. He's like, no, he doesn't have the right to have access to any of that information. He's crazy. Moving on. Martell. Finally, 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 Martell has listened to me, because I've been saying for a while now on my channel here that Martell needs to go into the clothing business. When he did the whole Inez wine thing, okay, that's cute or whatever. I need you to design some suits, some menswear, because Martell is all about fashion. I don't know if it's good fashion. I don't know if it's bad fashion, but it's Martell's fashion. He's really into fashion. Why you didn't think of that to begin with a long time ago, I don't know. But finally it's happening. So he meets up with a designer by the name of Miguel Wilson. Wilson has a clothing line, and he wants to have a line specifically for Martell. I don't know if it's going to be under Martell's name or what. So he shows them some ideas, which is these double-breasted suits. When he said double-breasted, that took me back to the 90s. I mean, double-breasted suits were really big in the 90s. I'm like, why would we bring that back? So then they showed us what he's talking about, and it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. The suits were not that square and boxy. So it was fine. The double-breasted suits looked fine. And Martell was looking at them, and he liked them. He says they come off looking very presidential. And I'm thinking maybe they should call it that. The Martell Holt presidential line of whatever, double-breasted suits. But I'm glad he's finally doing something with fashion, because that's what he should have been doing from the beginning. They said that he's going to need to put up $50,000 up front for the to invest in the line. Martell, I guess he's got the money. He didn't blink an eye at that. And the funny thing is, when the meeting started, Miguel was looking at him and he was asking him, did you just come from the gym? Because, Martell likes to wear clothes that are a little bit too small to show off his physique. And his biceps were like busting under that shirt because it was so tight around his arms. And I don't know, Martell does have, he has he has a nice body. He works out. He keeps himself very, very fit. But he likes to wear clothes, like no matter what the style is, because nobody's really thinking of how a suit is supposed to show your muscles, but he found a way to make it work where he can be wearing a suit, like a full jacket and everything, and his muscles are still like busting out. Moving on from there, we have Tiffany. She's at home. She's feeling better. Okay. That's all I'm going to say about that. And she says that the doctor told her she needs to slow it down, but she's actually planning a business trip. And Lewis is telling her, no, your doctor told you to slow down. That little health scare that we just had, that little, whatever medical scare that we just had, it's a sign from God telling you, if you don't slow down on your own, I'm going to slow you down. So that was just a warning, and we need to take heed. You're not going on no damn business trip. And she's like, oh, it's only for the weekend. It's no big deal. I'll just be in and out. And he's like, no. Then they talk about how messy she is. And she says, well, yeah, you're right. I do need to, I need to fix my delivery. I need to, I know that I got to work on my delivery. No, what you got to work on, not your delivery, sweetheart. What you got to work on is staying out of people's business. Okay, if you want to stay on this show, if you want to secure your spot with your own business, not somebody else's business. So Lewis tells her, yeah, you need to just stay out of people's business. And then she tries to say something about, well, I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to extend myself to Melody and Martell, because they're divorced and I've been through a divorce and I've been through what they've been through. And I'm just trying to give them some advice on how to deal with that, on how to deal with the blended family. And Lewis is like, are they asking you for this advice? Because the worst kind of advice is the unsolicited kind. And she's like, well, no, but I just want, no, Tiffany, sweetheart, you're cooking a whole human. Worry about that. Don't worry about these clowns and what they're going through. First of all, Martell and Sheree, it's a fake relationship. Second of all, Martell and Melody, they are so that I don't think they really, that love-hate relationship between them, it is so intense. Tiffany, you're not going to be able to penetrate it. They're not going to be trying to listen to you at all. They're so wrapped up in their own drama that they're causing for each other. They're not trying to listen to nobody. So stay out of it. If you want to stay on the show, get your own business, Tiffany, please. Moving on to the Black Expo / comeback group meeting. Let's see if we can dissect this. Okay. So Letitia and Marceau called the second meeting. When the second meeting starts, ain't nobody there but Melody and Kimmy. They're on time. These are the straight A students. They arrived on time. Kimmy hasn't decided yet if she's really going to be participating in the Black Expo thing. She's not really sure because she's not getting the answers that she wants. And Kimmy thinks that the Black Expo is just a reorganization of the comeback group. So that's her thing. Her thing is, this ain't no Black Expo. This is the comeback group. And the Scotts, Marceau and Letitia, are just trying to be real sneaky about it because Marceau had written this long manifesto that he has sent out to everybody explaining why he should be the new leader of the comeback group. And because ain't nobody checking for Marceau being the leader of the comeback group, some of them don't even want to be in the comeback group. That is Melody. He's trying to do it in a real sneaky way through the Black Expo. So Kimmy has already peeped their game. He knows what they're doing. She knows what they're doing. And she's going to call him out on it because she's like, this is just a comeback group with the Scotts as the leaders. That's all this is. They need to just be honest and upfront and say what it is. So when the meeting finally starts, so the meeting finally starts. Tisha says that she has sent an email to everybody asking them if they were in or out on the whole Black Expo event. But she says nobody responded. They said they didn't get no damn email. So she checks her phone and she didn't say, I was waiting for her to say, well, I sent it to everybody on, May 6th, 2023 at exactly 2:23 p.m. Y'all see it? I sent it. It said sent, and I didn't get an error message saying that it wasn't sent. No, she didn't do that. She looked at her phone and she was like, well, that don't even matter. Well, did you send the email or not? So she starts off by saying nobody's getting paid. First of all, if you want to know about the money situation, ain't nobody getting paid. This is supposed to be us giving back to the community, so no one's getting paid. So of course, Martell and Melody, they don't like that. Melody even goes as far as to say, I gave you the idea for the sponsorship. You're taking my idea to have sponsors. And now you're saying we're not going to get paid, because it would have made more sense because at first they didn't have any sponsors. It would have made more sense if they would have stayed without the sponsors. And then you tell the group that we're not going to pay anybody and then call it a charity event so that they can file it under their taxes properly as, okay, this was a charity event that I was involved in, so they can get their benefit for that. But instead, now you're going to get sponsors, meaning that money is going to be flowing into this event, but you're still not going to pay anybody. Why would they do this work for free? The thing is, you would have sold it better if it was no sponsors. You would have sold it better saying, hey, we're not going to make any money from this. This is just us giving back to the community. Instead of taking Melody's idea to have the sponsors. So now everybody knows money's coming in. Exactly where is it going? We don't know, because Letitia says that this group is not going to get paid, which means that another group is going to get paid, but this group isn't going to get paid. So why would they do this knowing that there's money coming into this event? It's not a charity event. That's why they never use the word charity. It's not a charity event because you're getting sponsors, you're getting paid somehow, but then you don't want to pay these people. And these are the people that are going to draw in the public. People are going to want to come and see Melody and Martell and Kimmy and Maurice. These are the people that is going to bring in the crowd, but you're not going to pay them. So Kimmy's like, you know what? I don't really care about the money. My issue is, call it what it is. This is the comeback group with y'all as the new leaders. Just go ahead and say it. And they're trying to say, no, it's not the comeback group. This is the Black Expo. We're giving back to the community, and y'all are just really greedy because y'all want to get paid. Needless to say that the whole meeting went completely left. There was a part when everybody was talking over each other, couldn't understand what the hell was going on. At first, Maurice was agreeing with Marceau and Letitia about not getting paid. Then at some point, he got upset with his brother and his sister-in-law because of the fact that this was their idea, not Marceau and Letitia's idea, because he kept on saying, this is our idea. This is our idea. So the whole thing is, anytime the comeback group gets together, nothing gets done. I don't even know why Letitia's even trying. If you wanted to do a Black Expo event, just go ahead and do your own Black Expo event. And that's Black, BLAQUE, not BLACK. Go do your own thing. Don't worry about these people. The reason why you're including these people is because you know these people are going to draw in the crowd. You're using them to draw in a crowd. You're going to be profiting from the money that the sponsors are going to give, but you don't want to pay these people. It don't make no sense. And then the way Marceau talks is getting really aggravating to me. It's been aggravating, but now it's aggravating on a whole nother level. He always talks as if he is the smartest person in the world. He always talks as if everybody around him is so stupid that they can never figure out anything, and that he knows exactly what's going on. Nobody else but him knows what's going on. And he doesn't understand that we figured you out. Marceau, you're not fooling nobody. We've already figured you out. We've already clocked you a long time ago. You're not fooling anybody. So stop talking like that. Just talk like a normal damn person. Now I'm getting so aggravated. I need to end this video because I'm really getting aggravated. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. And on your way out, please do not forget to don't forget to rate the video. And if you like this channel, please subscribe to it. And I will definitely talk to you later. Bye.